Good morning. This is Constance from Mrs. T Weddings. And today on my lockdown lives, I am going to be joined by Sophie from By the Event Stylists. Sophie and I worked together on the shoot that you'll have seen on my feed most recently, the wonderful Balloon Woman. And Sophie is going to be talking to us all about styling for different events, including weddings, and how she has adapted during the lockdown. So let me just add Sophie in now. She'll be able to join us on this chat, hopefully. Sophie is quite local to me as well, which is great. Oh, look, we've got both of you! Yay!
Price of one.
It is two for the price of one. It's the big reveal. I love this.
I know, the exclusive. I don't know how you've managed to do it.
I did it. I got you from out of those covers and out into the real world. How are you both?
Oh, yeah, we're good. How are you?
Yeah, really good. So everyone, it's Sophie and Stacey. They're the team that make it happen. I thought I was just getting Sophie's got two for the price of one. This is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to be speaking to them both about. So it's a joint venture, isn't it? It's both of you that run the company.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Stacey's been with me from the beginning, so it's only right that she was here today as well.
I love that. Yes. Okay, fabulous. And we're going to be just talking a little bit about where you guys have come from, what you do, what you've been doing during COVID and things, and then giving people maybe some little pointers for some help towards, how they can get on with their wedding planning, thinking about styling and things. So first of all, tell us the background of By the Event Stylist. Where have you come from?
Well, I mean, what a question. So,
well, you were born, okay, we get that bit.
So I've worked in events for nearly over 8 years now, predominantly in London, working for some of the big brands, and it's obviously an amazing industry, but when you're working with the big brands, you're often really defined by their brand guidelines and how they want things to look. So whilst you can be doing all these amazing events, there's not really that much creativity involved. And I studied fashion, and I really kind of always felt that I was able to be as creative as possible. So I kind of just decided, why not start my own little event styling business and some amazing brands as well.
So I've worked, same as Sophie, worked in London for around sort of 10 years now, and I've always kind of been really jealous of the work that Sophie was doing, been her number one fan. So
I love it when jealousy becomes passion.
I wanted. So she offered me the opportunity to kind of get involved, and obviously couldn't say no. So
yeah,
fantastic.
We just celebrated our first birthday, haven't we? So going
Happy
strong.
Birthday.
But yeah, we've had an amazing first year, haven't we?
It's been crazy. I think when we started, it's going to be a little bit of maybe once every kind of couple of weeks, and it's taken off. So it's been a lot of fun.
That's so good. I love that. Brilliant. And so tell us a little bit about the kind of services you offer. So if anyone hasn't, come across you guys before, tell us a little bit about what you can provide.
Yeah, for sure. So we're a full service end-to-end event agency. I think from venue decoration to tablescaping to balloons, which we've become quite known for.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the one-trick balloon pony. But,
sorry, I'm not helping that with my Instagram. Oh, more balloons.
The last thing that we went to, someone kind of saw us in, and then they yelled across the venue. They were like, "The balloon girls are here!"
Oh no.
Now. Which isn't the worst thing, for sure.
Okay with that.
But obviously, because of coronavirus, we've had to kind of pivot, and we can't necessarily do everything that we would love to be offering, but we've still do something which is great, and hopefully next year we'll be able to go even bigger and even better.
Absolutely, yeah. I think we're all feeling that way. Come on next year. Although it's great news from Boris yesterday that weddings are allowed again after this lockdown. So that is a massive blessing. Brilliant. Okay, so tell us a little bit about what your favourite projects have been so far.
So hard to pick. We were having this conversation recently, actually. I think it was always going to be Wisteria.
Yeah. So at the beginning of lockdown 1.0,
yeah.
wanted to obviously continue creating and getting loads of content. So we actually staged a wisteria installation. So we really have this amazing wisteria tree, and it's years and years and old, so it's really developed. And it goes all around the extension to my parents' house.
Okay.
And basically, we'd seen on Alari events, which we're just massive fangirls of, and if anyone knows anything about balloons, you'll know that they're the best in the game. Wisteria installation, and ever since I saw it, I was like, we've got this amazing wisteria plant, we have to do something of our own and kind of do our own take on it. And it's just become like my personal favourite, and you'll see it's like on all of our branding because I just love it.
Brilliant. I'm going to put it on my stories later so everyone can see it. I'm writing it down so we can make sure everyone sees it.
I think my favourite probably, though, is, as much as I did love the wisteria, and I really did, but I think the Halloween tablescape that we did, I think you see, when you think of Halloween traditionally, you think of kind of oranges and greens and purples, but I think what we're really finding with a lot of our customers is they want something really different, and they want something a little bit unique, something that they don't see all over Instagram, and they don't see.
Exactly.
So we did this styling for a kind of private customer where they were having a really small gathering of just their family, but they wanted to make it really special.
Yeah.
Add pinks and blacks and these kind of metallic touches. We spray painted the pumpkins ourselves, which was
brilliant.
Much messier than we thought it would be.
With your hands filthy.
All our clothes. Someone in your car, didn't it?
Yeah.
Whole thing. There's no.
It's so hard because everything we do is obviously completely different, and we always try and mix it up. Like we worked with Constance, photographer Constance.
Yeah, the other Constance.
I know, I've never met anyone called Constance, and then suddenly I meet two in one day.
Yeah, suddenly we inundate you. Sorry about that.
Mum's maiden name is actually Constant, and I told her, and she's like, "Oh my god, I love that name! It's amazing."
Amazing. So yeah, and then you did the Christmas scaping with Constance, which was brilliant. Yeah, that looked gorgeous. I presume everyone's seen it on Instagram, but if not, go and check it out because it's beautiful. Okay, so you kind of touched on it already, but one thing that all my brides are always talking about is like, okay, I've got my Instagram, I've got my Pinterest boards, I've been saving on Instagram, I've got all these different ideas, but they're all other people's ideas. Like, I want to make my wedding unique. I want it to stand out. I want it to be special. I want people to go, oh, that was so-and-so's wedding, not, oh, which wedding was that summer? So what are the things that you have kind of, you know, how do you approach a project so that you make sure it is unique and really about that couple in a wedding perspective?
Yeah, I think, well, for us, we really want to get to know the people that we're working with and the venue. The big thing for us has always been that we don't want our styling to fight with the venue. We really want it to work with it. So we really want to make sure that there's, so say, for example, we did one wedding where there was this kind of beautiful old Augustinian wall where the stonework was so stunning. So we just left it.
Yeah.
Cover it with balloons. We're not going to kind of try and make it all about something that we're bringing to it. We're going to work with the venue and kind of have a bit of a holistic approach so that it just looks like an incredible, a beautiful setting rather than
and kind of complement the space rather than fight against it or battle it or cover it even. Yeah,
it's really hard to get to know the person that we're working with as well. And I think that's why, you know, people come to us and they say, oh, you know, can you give us some ideas of maybe price, or can you give us an idea of if we do this here? And we're kind of saying, well, it doesn't really work like that. We don't just take one thing and kind of plonk it somewhere else. Be completely unique to the space, to you, to your occasion, to your color scheme. And something that we do, and I know that we're saying we don't want to be the balloon girls, but something we do with balloons is we can custom create colors. So we'll that that's completely unique to maybe your color scheme, or if you say to us, oh, I've got flowers that I love, or this particular piece of decoration that I love, we work really hard to kind of match it or to match your branding, things like that.
Yeah,
That's amazing. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
And I think obviously we always ask loads of questions at the beginning, and that's how you do like you say, the customer, and we always ask for photos of the space, and we'll always try and get down to actually see it in person as well, which, you know, lockdown is a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's all about just kind of getting to know them and making sure that what we create is just beautiful and bespoke, and we'll definitely take some things they've seen before, because obviously that's where the ideas come from, and personalize it.
Yeah, I love that. Perfect. And so tell me a little bit about how you've adapted during lockdown, you know, kind of like, how have you, I mean, clearly, you know, venues aren't open a lot of the time, and all sorts of things are kind of very different from what your business model is really about. So how have you changed your business to, you know, still be functional during this weird time?
Yeah, I know it's difficult, isn't it? And it's hard for us business owners. But yeah, we've obviously had to pivot, and like I said, we started actually doing these amazing Covent Garden style benches into, and we did some in Milton Keynes, and we were actually due to deliver one to Derby as well, but obviously because they can't have people sitting down, that means storage. So as soon as that, you know, the restrictions are lifted, then we'll be rolling those back out. But in the meantime, we've obviously upweighted the balloons, which is something we knew we could do safely. So obviously we wear all of the PPE, from masks, gloves, sanitizing everything and everything. And then we do this balloon deliveries, which, you know, I think is really important, because obviously when you have a birthday, or you have even a business birthday or an anniversary or whatever, you still want, despite the fact that we're in lockdown, and it's how we can do that safely, which is great with the balloons, because we can kind of just drop and go, and then we don't have to have too much actual physical contact. So yeah.
I think it's really good as well, because, you know, I think, you know, as we're all remote, as we're doing right now, you know, we're all living and breathing on our social media a lot more probably than we were before. So very visual demonstrations of, you know, expressions of what's going on for us are quite important. And balloons are kind of one way that you can immediately get that snapshot, and you know exactly what the occasion is, what, you know, what's going on, what the celebration is. And I think it's really, you know, like you say, you're able to do installations outside, so it doesn't have to be indoors. So you don't have to go into people's homes if, you know, they're high risk. You can do a delivery, and then they can install, right? And you can give them instructions if they don't want you in their home or their space. But you're also doing businesses as well. So a lot of businesses that have had to shut their shop, they want to show that they're still functioning, but they're just not able to sell from their premises. So you're able to do corporate clients as well, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's actually something that's worked really well for us, is because obviously after the first lockdown, all of the businesses wanted to announce that they were back open again. So it was like, hey, we're open, like come on in. And it's amazing as well, because when they post those posts on social media, they tend to always get the unicorn post status, which for us is great. Compliment. But obviously great for them as well, because, you know, it's enhancing their reach, their visibility, not only just from the people that can actually see it firsthand. So yeah, it's really great working with the local businesses. It's something that we're really passionate about, isn't it?
Really excited. I'm so lucky that we've got the kind of first dibs on a couple of businesses, because we've done their grand openings. So we got to try the 5 Aki burgers before they opened, which was
So just speaking about that quickly, so just tell people where you're based. You're around Milton Keynes, aren't you?
Yeah.
But so how far do you go? Like, how far do you cover?
We've been everywhere, honestly. I spent so long in the car.
Yeah, we tend to cover beds, hearts and bucks.
Yeah.
Based in Asby, so that's where our studio. But you know, for the right brief, we'll obviously stretch
go anywhere. You were going to go to Derby for a bench.
But we just had a brief last job in Enfield, didn't we? So that's obviously a little bit further. Jobs in
we were in Windsor one day, but we had three jobs that day. So we were driving, both driving, and me blowing up balloons in the front seat.
Wow, that's the true sign of a business owner, isn't it? I love that. Brilliant. And so I think, you know, it's really interesting what you can do with different styles and things. And one thing that, you know, some couples have come across with everything that's going on is that they've booked their venue imagining that they're going to have a much bigger wedding. Restrictions have meant that's gone down, and you know, it might not be that they necessarily have to stick to the 15. It might be in time that they can go back to 30 or 50, we're not too sure, but their space was probably, you know, planned around having 120, 150 guests. What kind of ideas could you help our couples with to get them to think about using their space slightly differently? What could they do stylistically to fill the empty space, really, without taking away the gorgeousness of it all?
Exactly, like you say, I think it's about filling the space, and I think that's something that we've seen. You know, when people, when we've seen, or when we've, I guess, been to weddings that haven't been styled, I think you're exactly right. In pre-COVID times, if you have these massive, big rooms and you don't have on decoration-wise, I think it can sometimes feel a little bit school disco-y, can't it?
Yeah, or village hall. Yeah, like just empty kind of feeling. Yeah.
Do they, where I mean, if you've seen the In-Betweeners movie where they go into the club and it's completely empty and it's just really so no one wants that. And I think it's really important, like you say, to get that good balance between having enough space that you don't feel cramped, but also making sure you're using the space really well. And that's where obviously the balloons are great, because you can nice photo moments. We've got all kind of props as well in stocks, from our boho chair to our moon gate. So there's a lot that actually are really great space fillers, but also have a purpose as well. So, you know, photo moments, like I mentioned.
Yeah, so you can make a little vignette, so a kind of cute little area that then people can use as, you know, in a way their photo booth area without it being a photo booth, but it's just a little area that people can functionally use to chill out in, but also have gorgeous photos.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's Instagrammable moments.
Sure, and we find it really gets people circulating as well, because I think normally people, if they're just sitting down, they'll go between there and a lot of kind of rotation around the room, and if you've got this big gorgeous space, you want to make the most of it. So I think it makes sure people kind of spread out, and they kind of they experience your wedding a little bit more than just kind of attending it.
Yeah, brilliant. I love, that's a really good phrase. Experience the wedding, not just attend it. Oh, I might nick that. Blinking love it. Brilliant. Okay, and so so let's talk about some functional things. So if people bring you in to help them with their wedding, let's say they're going to go for one of these little vignettes, maybe some balloons, things like that. How long does it take you guys to set up? Like, do you need to come in the day before? Do you need like loads of time, or do you go in and out? How, you know, when they're planning their wedding timeline, how long do they need to plan for you to come in and sort it all out?
You do.
Yeah,
we right.
Yeah, we can be really honest. So I think what's great about the balloons that we use, because they're really high quality, they can literally last weeks. So we can slot in as and when it works best for the client. So if that's a case of just doing it, you know, the morning of, then that's fine. And, you know, crazy times before, haven't we? Or even the night before. We did one job for Amazon, didn't we, where we were there until like midnight.
We've the earliest starts and the latest finishes, and we are not morning people, but I think get on the road and better, aren't we?
Yeah, for sure. Literally, we should be sponsored by Starbucks, because
because it's by heart.
I love that. Perfect. And so do you always set up, or is it other people that you bring in, or how does it work with like the kind of setup of everything, or do people have to do it themselves? How does that work?
So it's completely us two. So we'll obviously always come in and help. And we will do everything. So we'll try and prepare as much of it in advance before. You know, it's a lot easier when on site. We don't always know what it's going to be like, and if we can prepare, but it just makes our job a lot easier. We only need to be on site for about an hour and a half. So, you know, between an hour and a half and 2 hours, just because obviously we like to photograph everything so we can share it as well. But it can be done really in an hour and a half. We'll come in, set everything up, make sure the client's happy before we leave, and then we'll just kind of let them get on with their day.
But I think this is ability, and I think this is what we were saying before, when we make sure that we have the conversations. You know, if someone says to us, have 20 minutes, we can figure it out. I mean, there's some crazy done where they've, you know, wanted the world and they've given us sort of 5 minutes to fit it in. And, you know, there's a lot doing it as long as we have. I think there's quite a few tips and tricks that we know about ways that we can get quite a lot of bang for, you know, price within a reasonable time frame.
Yeah.
Just depends
That's brilliant.
And I'm well to have quite a big car. So I'm driving along like this little balloon wagon that's like packed to the rafters with balloons, and I'm sure everyone like driving next to me must be like, what like this mad woman.
Is she going to put on her clown outfit when she gets out? I mean, I could be testament to how incredibly you work. So when we did this shoot together, it was the windiest day ever. We had no cover, and you were having to do these balloon garlands. You were doing the moon gate. You did it all, and it was up against a river, and like the moon gate was just rattling, and you were attaching these balloons. So I was amazed, and you kept a smile on your faces the whole way through, and you were really lovely. And then you were like, right, we've got to go now, we've got another job. I was like, my goodness, how did they do that? That was just insane. Like, you were so impressive.
Yeah. I mean, just never know what it's going to be like, because when we arrived on that day, it was beautiful, wasn't it?
It was.
I was shining by the day, and then suddenly like all the different happened like every other hour. But
it was a dramatic weather day. But you did so well. So yeah, I think if anyone's worried about weather conditions or anything like that, these guys can sort it. I mean, I'm not throwing you out there to get the worst thing. It's a November windy day, come and do a big balloon installation outside my house, but you could do it.
Like being in the North Pole and doing the first ever balloon installation.
Yeah. Challenge accepted. Take the Discovery up there. Brilliant. And so you're part of Sweet 15, which we're so happy to have you on board for. So Sweet 15, now we can do it again. Intimate micro weddings for 15k for 15 people, organised by me, and we're bringing in all the different component parts. And part of that, if you want it, was styling from you lovely ladies. So tell us what kind of things people could have as part of their intimate wedding package from you. What are options?
Firstly, very excited to be involved, so thank you for having us. And I'm so excited that we can actually get back to it now as well, which is like next year, you know, there's going to be so much more we can offer, which will be even more exciting. But what we can do now is we can create, like we say, these bespoke balloon installations for you, and we'll work to make it completely personalised and tailored to your venue. We can also do the tablescaping and venue dressing as well. Or drapes if you've got actual beams, depending if you're going for a bit more of a period venue. I know there's a lot of barn venues around, especially locally. Done in the past, haven't we, at like Notley Abbey and places like that. But yeah, there really is a real range of services, and I think it just depends on what kind of theme you're going for. Whether the boho vibe, like the shoot that we did, or more kind of polished and more stylized. Possibilities really are endless, which is exciting for us because we love mixing it up and doing different things. So
so for people that aren't in the industry, explain what tablescaping is.
Oh, we love tablescaping. Tablescaping essentially, I think people think that, you know, you sit down at the table and it's just kind of a plate and a knife and a fork, but I think that can not look very wedding-y. So I think we think about the whole look and the kind of aesthetic and the way that the table, which is for a lot of people the main part of the kind of event, whether it's the kind of part where you speak to friends and your family, finally get to sit down for 5 minutes, or the part that's kind of where all the food gets brought out and you have speeches, things like that. So we make
at the moment it's the only part really. There's the ceremony and then you've got the meal, but there's no other part to the wedding. So tables everything.
And we're finding a lot of people we're doing quite a lot of garden weddings, aren't we? I suppose, for the second a lot of garden weddings where people were really bringing everything in-house. They kind of bring in the catering and we would turn into an event. So rather than kind of sitting down at the end of it, we like to see it as kind of a continuation of the celebration. So a continuation of your theme, and we can tie in your flowers, we can tie in your wedding colors. You know, we've got a couple of really unique touches when it comes to things like chair covers, so the different ways of doing it. Tied some, was it sage or rosemary? We tied eucalyptus to the back of some chairs with these huge bows, and it looked incredible. And it just turns the whole meal into something that feels really special, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think really it's about making it more of an experience rather than this function down to have a meal. It's actually how can you create an even more enjoyable experience that actually talking. And I think when you go to weddings and you've obviously got your place setting, but then you've got this beautiful set up beautifully, and you've got your name placeholder. If people actually want to Instagram that, then you know you've kind of done your job right. If it's just standard white plate, the very like basic cutlery, then obviously that's fine. But we want to go that extra step further and make it even more. And that's kind of what we do for tablescaping.
Yeah, so you're kind of thinking about everything that goes on a table, from napkins to knives and forks to plates to flowers to where the wine bottles are placed, if they are, you know, you're thinking about the whole thing, right? To make sure it all looks absolutely gorgeous and on brand.
And we can also do place settings. We've got our in-house calligrapher, so we can do place settings, things like any kind of signage you need, things like that.
Okay.
We want to make it, you know, they say the first bite is with the eye, and we want to make sure that it's...
I love it. You're coming out with some great lines today. Very impressed.
Right here.
Excellent. Love that. So tell us, okay, so this is everything that you do for weddings, which is so useful. And I think so many couples know that they want something gorgeous, but they don't know how to do it. That is the most common thing, right? That we see, and they're like loving all this stuff on Pinterest, tagging everything on Instagram that they love, but then going, how do I actually do it? So you guys can make those dreams realities, basically. You're dream makers.
Yes, we try.
Yeah? Should we just say that?
We'll go there.
Just lost you there. What was that?
Bold claim, but we'll go there.
Good. Okay, perfect. Let's own it. Big bold times. Let's be bold. Right, now tell me, 2021, what's going to happen? What's the plan for By the Event Stylists? What's going to be happening to your business and you guys?
Yeah, well, it's an interesting time, isn't it? So we obviously launched, as we mentioned, officially. We were doing a few things prior to that, but officially on 29th of October 2019. So we've done a year, and it's going to be the toughest year that we've probably ever done to ever do. But we feel like we're going bigger and better from here on. So as I mentioned, we've got the Covent Garden style floral benches. As soon as lifted, they'll be rolled out in all of the local shopping centres, which is really exciting for us. Then we'll also be doing, hopefully, more weddings, which we obviously wanted to do this year, and we hope to do some in partnership with yourself.
Definitely.
And I think what's been really great is we've got to know a lot of the local suppliers during this lockdown period. And there's so many opportunities that come just off the back of that, and having this really great network. And for us as well, it's great to have these trusted suppliers that we know that we can go to, and we'll know that they deliver, and we absolutely wholeheartedly would recommend. So yeah, really we just want to continue creating, going bigger and better than before, doing more parties, more baby showers, more business birthdays, you name it. We just
that's it. You also do kind of all life events, don't you? So you do like baby showers, you do as you said, the work side of it, the corporate side, but you can make any event work, right? You can do it for anything. And even you can do Christmas. Like I know it wasn't a wreath, but in my eyes, the one on the barn door, I was like, that'd be a great wreath. But you know, you can do anything, can't you?
Yeah, we'd not thought of doing balloon Christmas wreaths until you posted it, and then we were like, actually,
I'll take 5% commission, girls.
I think Christmas is a huge focus for us about making it still. I think what we've really found this year is that obviously we've all been locked down. It's been a horrible year, but you know, we've seen really amazing things happening. You know, we've still seen people getting, you know, people are having babies, people are having these huge milestone birthdays, and I think we really want to focus on making things so special for people if they can't have these huge So I think we've also, I don't know if we mentioned, but we've also launched, we've got these in-house movie nights that we've done where we can kind of
Oh, wow.
we've got we did kind of a gin tasting setup where it was all kind of socially distant. Everybody was kind of doing it with the people in their homes, but you know, it's taking something that you might have been maybe a bit worried about, like a birthday or something, and you might have thought, how can I make this special, and really making it really, really special. So I think that's our big drive at the moment, is about taking things and maximizing them as much as we can in these sort of weird times.
Yeah. So we did a Christmas bench last year, but this year we're doing 3 Christmas launches.
Wow.
5. We've gone there. We unveiled our second one yesterday, which was a Christmas doorscape, which is this beautiful
amazing
archway, and then again fully themed to your doorway. So in this instance, the door had really nice gold fixtures and fittings, so we were like, we need to enhance those and bring those out in our archway. We launched the very first one yesterday. We've got a number of different designs coming this week, so we're excited to share those as a week.
Oh, how exciting. I haven't seen them. I'm behind. I wasn't on my phone hardly at all yesterday, so I'm going to be going straight onto your Instagram now to go and see them.
You might like it, actually, based on our previous discussions.
I know. I'm desperate for one. My husband's being very stubborn about this. But anyway, that's our household discussion. But no, I'm a huge fan of doing anything you can to make these, make this Christmas as fabulous as possible, because we've all had a really crap year, let's be honest. So it's really important that, this Christmas we do celebrate and we don't just let it go. Like most of the years just pass us by. Well, let's actually celebrate something this year. And I think you guys are really good at making sure that people feel that emotive connection to the event. And if people do want help with tablescaping for their Christmas lunch and things, you're more than able to help with that, aren't you, as well? So it doesn't just need to be that tablescaping is a wedding thing.
No, absolutely, all occasions.
Yeah, all occasions. Every Sunday lunch I expect you to be doing my tablescaping from now on.
Yeah, we never met a theme we didn't like so far.
Oh, brilliant. Well, look, girls, thank you so much for your time today. You've been an absolute pleasure to speak to, and thank you for showing your faces. I'm so proud of you. On your 1-year anniversary, it only seems right that we know who you are.
Well, it's lovely to meet you too. Thank you for
We'll be chatting soon for the various projects we're working on together. But for everyone else out there, tell them how they can get in touch with you if they want to speak to you about different styling requests.
Yeah, so if you head on over to By the Event Stylist, drop us a DM. One of us will come back to you. We like to call ourselves the B-Test Babes.
Love that.
Contact page on there, so you can just drop us an email via the website too.
Fabulous. Brilliant. Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time, ladies. Go do some ballooning, I'm sure is on the agenda for the day. And we'll speak soon. Okay.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.